All right, welcome. Hello, everyone. This is Courtney Rollins with the Life in Transitions Experts YouTube channel and podcast here with another piece of content that I hope is very helpful for someone who maybe find themselves going through probate or someone that they know or love is going through probate and they find that they are either responsible or they want to help the person responsible. Today, we're going to look at some mistakes to avoid if you find yourself in probate in North Carolina. I'm the Life in Transitions property specialist, and that means I'm helping people who are going through some of their biggest transitions in life. And one of those is helping someone, helping a state be settled. Probate is the process, just in case you're here watching as a practitioner or someone curious or just learning about probate. It is the legal process of settling the affairs of a person who's passed away. So if someone dies with property in their name or debt in their name, there has to be a way to legally rectify and address those situations, and that's what the probate process does. Even with the will has to go through probate. If there isn't a will, then it definitely has to be administered. The state has to be administered based on the laws of the state of North Carolina we're looking at today. I'm not an attorney or giving any legal or financial advice. I'm sharing my experience as a probate specialist, someone who works in this space, helping people with most of the time the property. Quite often there's other challenges that come up and try to at least give my opinion and my experience. And hopefully it does still help people and point them in the right direction. So let's take a look. Let's go ahead and jump in. Number one, that is not seeking some type of professional guidance or advice. You do not necessarily have to have an attorney when you're doing probate, but it is highly recommended and encouraged for you to do that. You know that you're getting top-notch fiduciary uh, representation here because it is a there are legal steps in liability if you do this the wrong way. Even if you don't seek someone to complete or administer or execute the the estate, it is still important or highly encouraged to at least speak to someone and get their guidance so that you know what next steps are available. So that's number one. Not seeking professional guidance can be a mistake for many people. Number two, delaying the probate process, not understanding, having a clear understanding of the timeline. If you need a timeline, reach out to me. I can share with you all the dates and timeline based on when you open probate to when it needs to be closed. But it's very important that you follow those. There can be not only legal liability but financial liability to the estate um, when you are late and when you're delaying probate, not turning in the inventory properly or on time or not submitting the final accounting or the annual accounting. All those things can delay the probate process. You don't want to do that. It's already long, it's already expensive, and it's already public. And so the longer you keep all those out there, the more challenging each of those areas can be for your life and for the people who are connected to the estate. Number three, incorrectly valuing the assets. Now, everything that when someone passes away, the value of the assets at that time of the death has to be accurate and has to be accounted for. Um, so if you have a car, you need to find out quite often the blue book value of that day, the stock. What was the value of that day when it was valued? Then later on, as long as the property or the estate is open, if money comes in based on like income from rents or from businesses, there has to be a way to assess that, and that's why it's so important to have professional guidance to help you along that way, as well as to make sure that you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's and make sure the value is properly set up. Because again, this can delay the process. Number two, you make sure that you have addressed all the debts and claims that have come in that are valid. I always encourage people to negotiate all debts and claims there, but if you can't just ignore them, you have to at least show in good faith that you addressed them. And if they got resolved, great. And if there isn't enough money in the state, then you have to follow the protocol that guides who and what gets paid in what proportion. So that definitely is something mistake to avoid. And of course, mishandling the estate's accounts. I highly recommend that if you are opening an estate, that you have its own separate bank account. Quite often, the decedent's bank, if they have an account, will allow you to open up an account. And I would do all transactions in there. Sometimes people, for convenience sake and for many other reasons, will make purchases or deal with pay for things with their own account and expect to be reimbursed and have different things that can really muddle up and make it more challenging to resolve the account. So having a smooth transaction is awesome. Coming to professionals who can almost provide a concierge service and give you one bill as opposed to multiple bills can also make that task easier when there's less things to account for. That's definitely something to consider when you're thinking about dealing with the administration fees and the fees that come up in an estate. And again, neglecting, just completely ignoring creditor claims is another thing that is challenges. Not only mishandling or not addressing it, but completely neglecting them is something that will if the creditor goes out, has every right to, um, will create headache and hang up. So make sure that you're at least addressing them. Also, it's important that anybody who's a beneficiary has a stake in the interest in the estate. You need to make sure you're communicating with them well. Not communicating with beneficiaries can cause all type of challenges or problems. Letting them know what stage you are along the way, what they expect to get uh, to receive if they're receiving anything, making sure they sign off on acknowledgement that they've received what they need to receive is so important. And keeping records is so important. And then number eight, overlooking the tax obligations. Yes, the estate will need to pay taxes for every year that it's open. It'll need to pay taxes. So make sure if there is a property that has to go through probate, which does happen sometimes in North Carolina, the property tax has to be dealt with, as well as any tax obligations that may come from income earned in from other places within the estate. Again, this is why it's so important to have professionals take a look at this. Now, if you need any support pointing you in the right direction, I'm like the hub in the wheel where I have a team of network of state professional attorneys, real estate brokers, cash buyers, contractors, people who help you deal with the personal property and the stuff when it comes to estate sales, cleanup, helping folks with downsizing if there are seniors or loved ones who are left behind who need support transitioning or moving to different spaces. And of course, I have connections of financial advisors that I can point to you and make that process smooth and easy. Feel free to reach out to me at Courtney at estateproservice.com or go to the website estateproservice.com and check out a little more details of what services are provided. All right. This is the Life in Transitions Expert YouTube channel, Facebook group, all podcasts. Would love for you to share, to hit the like and subscribe so we can get this out to more people and more people can benefit from the resources that are provided here for free. And if you are a practitioner and you want to be interviewed, that's one of my favorite things to do is to share all the amazing things people are doing who are other life and transitions experts, whether it's in care management, whether they're attorneys, or perhaps they're real estate investors helping provide quick cash offers, or real estate agents who are helping list. There are many people who work in this area, in this field, and it's a team sport and team effort. We'd love to share the great things you're doing. So reach out to me. Would love to speak to you. Check out the old interviews with folks that have had some great content, at least in my opinion, come up in recently. And yeah, I hope it's helpful. Life in Transitions Expert Podcast, LITE. Let your light shine. Cheers.